Today on Van Helsing, we talk about betrayal. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV. Oh, that's quite the intro. We're here doing the Van Helsing After Show, episode 9 of season 1, called Help Out. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SeraphiniTV. Joining me as always
is Andrew Mena. It's the number one of the other people. And you can find me on the Twitter at Andrew Mena. And chat me up because I have a lot to say about this episode.
Yes, me too. Hey guys, my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane.
Yes, lots of thoughts about this episode, especially how it went down. We'll get to it, but overall thoughts right now.
Oh,
Andrew.
man.
I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
just
we all
angry.
are.
Which I feel that song was kind of good to be like, angry.
Just want to like flip the table.
We're all enraged. Yes, agreed.
Yes. I mean, we'll get to Doc, but Doc, come on.
It's really, yeah.
Ready to drop F-bomb with that one. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they curse in this episode? So fuck. Doc.
Well, they said mother sucker.
They do.
Yeah,
And Mohammad definitely said shit a few times.
Oh, okay.
Which I was like, oh, come on, man. You don't know her. Don't talk to her like that. Man is man.
I love every time that they curse and drop the F-bomb, they actually bleep it out, but you can clearly understand what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I think it's maybe George Carlin or somebody who's like, if you say part of a bad word, we all think
fill
it
in the rest
anyways.
of it. Yeah.
Like, we can make up the rest of the word.
So they don't even have to say
So you may as
anything.
well say it.
Kind of like
Yep.
Gestalt theory in a way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, it was actually a pretty... We got some answers in this episode. A little bit more about Vanessa, but still nothing really happened.
Yeah.
But some things happened. They didn't really move. They're still stuck in the farm, quote unquote. But let's start the episode really with the elites. We see a little bit of the elites. We see Rebecca. She lets go of Shima with an unnecessary kiss.
It was so
Parting
weird.
No, that wasn't Shima that she kissed. She kissed the other girl, the white girl.
Yeah.
Oh, did she?
The one who got shot.
I think
she kissed white girl because she's like, you're gonna die now.
I think I covered my eyes because it was just not.
It was
needed.
weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but that's the point. She's like, I mean, it was super rapey, and I think that was the point. Is she's like, I have power, like physical, sexual, and like actual power over you. Like that was just what she was saying. Like, I'm taking whatever I want from you.
yeah.
Okay.
And I felt like that was basically like the mafia kiss of death. Like, like, I don't know. There's something weird and poetic about it. I get why it's uncomfortable, but it was also, I feel like, purposefully uncomfortable.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's one of the many kisses we saw in this episode.
I mean,
But-
hey.
But what else do you think is going to happen with Rebecca now that she lets her go? Will that lead us to the resistance? Will they follow her and track her?
Well, I mean, that girl's dead. Like, white girl's dead. She got shot in the head by what's his name?
But Shima's totally gonna
Shima,
destroy it from the inside out.
Shima,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because she was like, yeah, they did stuff. And she's like clearly holding
Yeah,
it.
shows
I think
her-
it was a blade in her hand.
Well, I think she showed her arms, which
No,
had, like,
but
bite
later
marks,
when they
right?
left, it was like cuts and stuff. And then as they were leaving, it looked like she had some sort of,
Weapon.
like switchblade, something in her hand.
Oh, yeah.
Like
She's
clearly
gonna
she did it
murder
herself.
everyone.
No, like she
Oh,
did it
okay.
herself.
Oh, I see.
They
Self-infliction.
tortured me, guys.
Oh, I
Like,
see what you're saying.
look. Because that's what she's like. They didn't do it to her, which I'm like, oh, that's so sneaky, you
Yeah.
biatch.
It was real snaky.
Yeah. But we really don't learn anything else about the elites other than...
Nope.
Nope.
It's like, there's still another episode that passes.
I mean,
we
we
still
just
don't know
learn-
what their ultimate...
I mean, we just learned that Becca is like we're calling her Becca now. Rebecca is toying with the humans by like sending basically a spy into their camp and having playing with their their ability to trust each other, which is super shitty of her. Like, I mean, that's basically where we're at. Like, it's not new information, but it is. Yeah.
But like, I think my problem is like we still didn't get any progression with their story, with their experiments that they're trying to do.
Right.
They didn't go anywhere.
Right. Last episode we got a lot of.
We got a big reveal
vampire
on them.
babies.
Now I kind of want to see more of what.
Nope, they're
we
just
now
gonna tease
know.
you.
I know.
Dangle it and be like, hey, want some more
mean.
information? Nope, you cannot get more info.
Yep.
That's mean.
It's messed up, guys.
You can't show us something so big and then
Give
not
us the
have an
vampire
episode
babies
to do nothing.
we deserve, you
Yep.
guys.
All right, moving on to the farm with everybody underground still.
Trapped now under the
radiation farm.
Radiation farm.
gosh.
Did you see this
And we'll
coming?
get there.
Did you
No.
see the
No,
radiation?
No.
It's
problem.
very left field, but it was interesting and good because I
Realistic.
feel like yeah.
Because it was one of those like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised because it wasn't
Yeah.
too bizarre that I was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But it was like, oh, I didn't really see that coming, and that's a very good reason to leave. Besides just there's vampires down here.
I thought it was a really good idea as like a device for like, oh, we can't stay here, and
Yes.
oh, like we're getting sick, and like, oh, we were drinking, so we're like blaming it on them. But no, there's more to it. I thought that was
Yes.
good, and it was a slow roll to understand what was the problem. My biggest issue was they didn't really explain the parameters of what like radiation does. Like they didn't explain what radiation is. Like Doc is just like, we have it, it's terrible, we got to get out of here, we'll be dead soon. So it's just very vague, like, oh, the darkness is coming. So I really wish that they had established, you know,
Move your mic closer to you.
in whatever way, what it was, you know, what the kind of parameters of it were, basically.
I mean, like, I think the audience is smart enough to know what radiation is, or
Well,
like
right,
we
but-
know. Okay,
right,
we know
but we
enough
don't know
it's
the
bad,
Geiger scale.
but also we don't know like where in exactly in that place is.
She
it
said
the
the whole
whole
place.
place?
Yeah.
Is
She's
it
like the
just,
whole place,
certain
everything's
yeah,
bad.
everything she said was basically these very
whole place.
like generalizations, like we're all gonna die soon.
Yes,
this
but-
whole place is bad.
Also, yes, I mean kind of, but we did get those vampires that are also down there. The radiation
Right.
doesn't seem like it affected
One.
them.
Wasn't there just
yeah,
one?
the one that we're aware of besides Gorman.
Yes.
Spoilies.
Spoilies.
Okay.
But yeah, that one vampire
The
who seemed like
Frankenfi-
who wouldn't
He
die.
looked like a vampire that was dressed up as Frankenstein for Halloween. Like he was walking like that, and he looked like he had one shoe that was larger than the other one.
He looked like a feral vampire.
He looked weird.
He didn't talk. He just was one of those feral ones. But it didn't seem like the radiation affected him.
I mean, maybe he was a creature of the radiation. You know what I mean?
I
Like-
wondered that too.
Like, how long had he been there? Like, had he been developed? Like, had he been? You know what I mean? Like, he's a combination of like a vampire that was stuck down there a long time and irradiated. You know, like, cause now we're like, okay, it's been a couple years since this happened, so it's totally possible for stuff like, for nuclear
long was he
fallout,
down
basically.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he can find his way down there, who else is down there that we just didn't
Right.
see? Like what other vampires could possibly be down
Yeah, we
there?
talked last time about there being like some sort of ancient vampire or some sort of, you know, experimental vampire that we're yet to see. And that could have been the experimental vampire. We really wouldn't know. We didn't get a chance to like observe it really. But I still have the feeling there's an experimental vampire or something coming up.
Yeah, in the chat room, someone was saying that they wondered if maybe they're experimenting on vampires in hopes of finding a cure.
I mean,
So
that would make
there maybe
sense.
was that kind of stuff going on. And then didn't we essentially learn too that Vanessa was supposed to go to that location to be experimented on?
Yes.
So-
we learned from last episode Vanessa's file was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Axel took it. Now we know that Axel was the one reading, and he knew more about Vanessa than he was letting on.
Mm-hmm.
This builds tension between those two. What did you think of their relationship / dynamic in this episode, not knowing there was a big secret between them?
I think she overreacted a bit, but in terms of he doesn't know that it's more of a personal issue for her. She has personal issues of not knowing truths about herself. So if someone has that over her, she's unhappy about it, and he doesn't know that. So then he's like, dude, you're overreacting. But it's more because it's very personal for her of like, she thinks she knows her truth of who she is, and then surprise, here's this all new stuff, and then she's like, what? No.
Right.
I get the whole idea of him being like this military guy who's like, oh, well, like, it's a need to know basis, and like basically
That
he's
too.
like, you didn't really need to know any. I didn't have any pertinent information for your finding of your daughter or like feeling better about this whole situation. I basically was just like, yeah, I know that you were supposed to come here, and we couldn't do that for a real long time. shrug.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I get it. Like, I don't
It's
really...
not relevant. Like,
yeah, it's super irrelevant. So for her to be mad, I get that she took it really personally, but also as a viewer, I was just like, get past this part. Get past this part so we can be good. And so it also, especially since we leave it in such a way with Axel, it makes you extra just like, why? Just growly. Yeah,
Yes,
makes me growly, you guys.
But I felt like Vanessa was kind of sounds terrible, but like slightly bipolar with Axel, because there was one scene she was fine with him, the next scene she was mad at him, and then the next scene's like, but I still care about you, and she was like still kind of nice. So it just felt she was like two different sides to her towards him.
I think it's important to also kind of point out that this is the first opportunity when she kisses Susan, which we haven't really talked about. But when they kiss, like, that's the first like moment of tenderness that Vanessa has, like, almost this whole like series so far. Like, it's the first moment she like lets her guard down in any real way. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not even to say that she lets her guard down that much. You kind of saw her grab her and be like, hey, let's calm down. Let's just spoon, baby. Like, I'm not ready. But you get the sense that like it's bringing up the idea that she's allowed to be vulnerable in so many ways. So I think that the conversations that she had with Axel were inherently more vulnerable after that moment. You know, I think that's why she gets more upset, because he's like carting corpses off in that moment, and she's like, no, I'm trying to have a thing with you, and he's like, that's great, but dead bodies. And she's like, no, come on, dude, like I don't do this a lot. Be here with me. And he's like, no, I will later.
well, the
Because
problem
he
then,
also has that like his guilt of like, I read your file, which is also like,
Yeah.
like it doesn't
But
matter.
at least
dude.
he was honest in this episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't like to the end
Totally.
where it might have been more necessary to. It's good that he told her now.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was withholding information. She never goes, do you have my file? And he goes, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like he was lying to her or anything like that. And it's, again, need to know basis, not important. And the problem is just they were like not seeing eye to eye at all. And he's kind of like, dude, why are you so moody right now?
Yeah. All right.
a lot of wires crossed, you guys.
Yes.
Yes, Andrew, you brought it up. Vanessa and Susan. Did we foresee this? I saw this.
I didn't.
I
was
didn't
pleasantly
foresee it,
surprised.
but it totally makes sense in terms of they're both lonely. They've both gone through a lot of crazy stuff. And it's kind of that I've had no form of, like, people need touch and, you know.
Human connection.
Yes, exactly.
Certainly.
And so they're, exactly. And so it's just one of those, heck, hey. Like, I don't necessarily think they were going to, like, bang each other right there or anything like that. Kind of, that's
Super
where it's
sordid.
going.
Glad
Yeah.
it didn't.
But
go
it was, wait, what?
there. I'm kind of glad it didn't
yes.
go there.
But it made sense of, like, you know, you just needed that comfort. It was a comforting thing rather than, like, sexy.
Yeah, you needed a moment to breathe.
Yes.
I kind of foresaw this because a few episodes back when Susan and Vanessa were in the tunnels running away for their lives,
yeah.
there was that moment where I think it was like Vanessa singing. Or like she was comforting him and or comforting Susan, and they were holding each other real close.
Yeah.
Like something's going on here.
Now, I have a question, and that is, so, because I felt like the kiss, especially the way that Susan looked at Vanessa, was very affectionate in a loving way. Less of a caring, like, I'm here for you way, like, I'm kissing you just to be
Wait, Vanessa
present with
or
you.
Susan?
Susan.
Susan
So
towards Vanessa.
I feel like Susan has feelings more so for Vanessa than Vanessa has for Susan, because obviously
Yes,
Vanessa
absolutely.
was like, oh, we're just friends to Axel, like, the next scene. So clearly she's trying to delineate, I think, even just in her mind, but in general, like, no, I'm not with her, I'm not with anyone. There's no time for that kind of thing.
Well,
'Cause
Susan,
moment of comfort.
Susan and Vanessa have a past and a history together, so
Yeah.
Susan could admire Vanessa of, like, you're this amazing person and is attracted to her because she has defended her before and is kind of someone to rescue her.
Yeah, dude, she's super hot.
Love it.
I get it. Like, I totally agree.
Okay, we're not talking just on the physical
I mean,
level
but
here.
I know, but like
But yes,
emotionally,
exactly.
she's super hot. Right?
But it was cute and nice of, like, someone in the chat, do you feel it's kind of one-sided with Susan and
That's what I was
Vanessa?
kind of saying. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Susan
like
is kind of like a little bit more into Vanessa than Vanessa is. Vanessa is clearly like,
Well,
oh, no,
Vanessa
I'm
kissed her
comforting you.
back.
Yeah.
It's not like she was like, whoa, what are you doing? She
Totally,
didn't, like,
totally. But like you're saying, I think she has in her heart, like, oh, yes, I'm kissing you, but it's really not like I'm not going to bang you out. Like, I'm ready
Yeah.
to, like, just
I don't
have you
think-
feel comfortable and relaxed.
because she kind of went like at the end.
Yes, exactly. So I feel like Vanessa's humoring her, you know, as a friend and as someone who like
But she
understands.
could enjoy it as well
Yeah,
too.
a little bit.
You
but I'm-
lonely?
yeah.
Kind of moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that,
Yes.
like, I think the person in the chat is probably worried, like I am, that Vanessa's going to get in a leading on situation. And that's,
Oh no, I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think they're going to play with that just because that's the like what they're setting up. It feels like.
Possibly.
At least from the way that Susan was looking at her.
Honestly, I don't think this relationship is gonna last.
Really?
long.
No.
Or is it? I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna go any further than just platonic.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, not that nothing's wrong with it. I just don't see them having. Well, what else can they get out of it?
Oh, yeah.
with
Really?
everything else that's going on.
It's a momentary comfort thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll see.
it's a moment
Nah.
to breathe.
Yes.
A moment to breathe. Okay, so yes, and that was another kiss that I thought was all right, interesting. Going on to just a little bit. Let's take it out of the farm just
Yes.
a little bit because we'd see Emma and Mohammad.
Emma the Forager.
I like Emma.
Did you think she was blind at first?
I thought she was
I thought
blind.
And then
She was
I
blind
still
at
thought
first.
I was like, she is. No, she's not.
No.
She is. Because there were so many scenes where she's not
She wasn't
looking at
making
him.
eye contact at all.
She wasn't looking at anything.
At
She's
anything.
just like
Just trusting.
straightforward. And then turns to him, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Do you guys remember how last week I was like, "There's gonna be a witch in the woods"?
Ah.
I was like, "You guys, she's
You're
right
like,
there."
"Yes,
Yes, I was so excited.
I
I was
thought
like,
it was
I
very
literally
weird.
called this.
Yes.
So do you think Emma's gonna play a big part? Like she's gonna help Mohammed in any way?
I'm not convinced she's not a
Well,
witch.
From seeing the What's Up Next Time, I think she's part of that weird utopia commune.
Good point.
I don't trust her one bit. It's really unnerving. I'm
She's
like,
very unnerving.
yes. I mean, you'd want to be like, no, people could be good, and like she's trying to help. I'm like, nope, just weird. And what is up with the two random figure guys walking? Which
Who
I
are
have,
they?
well, at first I thought they were vampires.
I did too.
and
I
then
thought they
I
were
was
the
like,
special elite
I
guys.
think they're with the commune
Oh, you think so?
Interesting.
because she didn't care about them at
Security.
all.
She noted them though. She like knew that they were there.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like she knows they're border patrol, kind of walking around the perimeter.
See, and I think she's someone who's not a part of anything. She's just
Oh, you don't
kind
think
of
she's with the commune?
on her own.
Oh, okay.
Because it seems so random why she was just there.
Let's talk
Yes.
Then when
about.
she acknowledges other people's presence, it's not like she knew what they were, but it's not like she was associated with
Let's
them.
talk about that. She says, "Is it one of you?" to Muhammad when he's hiding.
Yes.
Is it one of you? Now we have no idea what she means by that. He
Vampire?
assumes that's exactly what he assumes.
Well,
He's like,
he-
"You mean a vampire? You mean a feeder?" And she,
And she supposedly can talk to them, which you're like, wait, what?
well, I mean, that's what we're all. Well, that's what we're
Talk
assuming.
with. No,
that's
not
what that's
at
what we're
them,
assuming.
with them.
If the one, if the them is a vampire.
Ooh, what
if
about
the
elites?
them maybe. But I was
another
thinking
religion.
like whatever these bodyguards are. These bodyguards are
Okay.
these stoic, weird. Like we don't even know if they're vampires yet. They
Yes.
could be something else entirely. They could be the them that she thought were just lurking. So I think the idea is that there's like a perimeter around the field, the place, right? That these guys are creating for her. That's why she's like foraging around safely, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I liked her because we don't know enough about her, and she's interesting. And
Yes.
Certainly.
she's actually a good like foil to Muhammad because he's strong, he's nice, but like he's kind of the
Dude,
bronze.
boy was led so quickly astray by Pretty Face, though.
Right.
I know.
Let's just say, she's like, you want
Right.
to follow me in the woods? And he's like, all right, let's go.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem, sweetheart.
Yeah, no,
Throw
I
some
agree.
kisses
No.
in there. I'm good.
No qualms.
He had no, like, wait, hold on,
Yeah.
nothing. He's just like, all right. I'm like, oh my
They were both pretty smitten. It was
Yes.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
so hoping she was Dylan for like that minute before she said her
Same
name.
here, but she's
Oh, yeah.
not brunette.
Oh, isn't she?
I think Dylan's brunette, isn't she?
Oh, was this girl not a brunette?
Emma was blonde.
She's-
I was blonde.
She wasn't blonde.
Was she? Wow, I'm getting my colors mixed up.
It's
I
okay.
thought she
Okay,
was.
well, her
Marissa lives in a
hair-
truly colorblind society. guys.
No, I'm not colorblind, I swear. Because I thought it's really hard. This and not.
It's not
I'm
blonde
not making
the way Susan is blonde.
Susan.
Like,
Okay.
Susan's blonde.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like
This
sandy
girl was
brown.
maybe like light brown, you could go?
Yeah,
maybe.
sandy brown.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think I registered as blonde. Maybe my memory's failing me, you guys. Sorry,
It's
I
all
watch
good.
a lot
alright.
of television
It's all
shows.
good.
Yeah.
But I like those two together. I hope Emma sticks around a little bit.
I hope there's something interesting with it and not like roll your eyes annoying or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I want it to be like, ooh, interesting. But I think she's with the commune. That's my guess.
I was fascinated by the way that she slapped that mushroom out of his hands when he took a bite of it and was like, some people are allergic to those. That was cool and also fascinating in the fact, like, she's going to know more about just the world and, like, little bits and pieces here and there. I mean, I really hope that it supports my witch theory, but I don't know how entirely actually they're going to do that. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I hope you
Dylan
guys-
should be
I
about
hope.
10 years old, someone pointed out in the chat.
10 years old? Or?
Well,
I thought she
a
was
few
like
years-
10
a
before.
few years past, yeah.
She was like,
she's
I thought she'd
probably
be like 13.
early teenagers.
I
now.
thought like almost 15 now.
yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to say like 15, 16.
Yeah.
She's going to be Muhammad's age guy.
But we don't know
I
how
think she's
old
a little
Muhammad
younger.
is.
Yeah.
Isn't he like 16?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Does anyone know how old Muhammad is?
No.
How old
Tweet
is
at us.
Muhammad? I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I hope Emma sticks around. All right,
Yes.
taking it back to the farm, we see a lot going down.
Yes.
And they're looking for, well, in the midst of leaving, now that the place is radioactive, we see Doc throwing up all that fun stuff. We realize Gorman Jones is a vampire.
Well,
He
he's
got
taken off in the
turned.
night to like go and like find the vampire.
He's
on
like,
his own.
I got it under control.
I'm gonna get that mother sucker, you know.
What do you think of the fight, though, between Axel and
was a good
Gorman,
fight.
Vampire?
It was
cool.
Good. It was good.
I kept worrying he'd get bit though. Too
yeah,
much hand
I was
to
waiting
hand,
for him
like,
getting bit. Yeah.
hands out there, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Woo!"
Yep.
I thought it was cool, the lighting and, like, the blue lights.
Yeah, they played a
flashing.
lot with just the silhouette of it and playing with the like just the flashlight on the floor. And I thought that I totally agree. Like we say it every episode. Like the cinematography in this show is rad and looks very comic booky, and it really lends itself to the source material. You know,
That
like
hallway.
Yeah, there was
blue
that one
lighting.
shot where, like, it was an oblique angle and then was slowly going to, like, in focus and
yeah.
right side up, and I thought that was beautiful. As they're going down the hall and looking for other vampires down there.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
Yeah, and like they found a way to like just film that like empty hall very scarily.
Yes.
We were scared the entire time. I was like, please don't shoot someone by accident.
And I believe we do have guest Chris Ippolito,
Oh snap!
who's going to be calling
Good,
in.
good, good. Gorman Jones.
Gorman Jones himself.
The one and
so let's get him
only.
on the line. We'll pick his brains a little bit.
The Gormpire.
That was so not meant to be a punny, but yeah, there we go. While we do that, in the meantime, everyone, this is the apocalypse, you know,
Yes.
and we have a good message from our friends at MeUndies.com.
Oh.
Because in
Okay,
an
then.
apocalypse, you need as much clothing as you should.
It's
But
true.
if you go to MeUndies.com and you /comfort, that's COMFORT, you can get 20% off your first order. MeUndies is a great place where, you know, they specialize in producing the most comfortable underwear you've ever experienced. And not just for girls, but for men as well. Underwear all around.
I'm one of those.
And I feel like
This applies to me too.
everyone there, you know, like all those guys, they're stuck there. They haven't really changed their clothes, and
Yeah.
they're definitely in need of it.
No, but
And
now
you
they
get
can go
scared
on the
that
internet.
you might,
Yeah.
rip your panties. So
I mean,
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
So that's MeUndies.com /comfort for 20% off your first order, and they ship it right to you. And if
Boom.
you're not satisfied, they will give you a full refund, and you can keep them.
it's,
There
no,
you
no,
go.
no strings attached.
Yep, MeUndies.com /comfort. Thanks, everyone. And we actually have a special guest, Chris Ippolito. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Gorman Jones.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.
Howdy.
Of course, you play Gorman Jones. First of all, your character, I didn't expect you going from human, who we just learned, now into a vampire. I was like,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
just starting to like you.
We were so ready for so much more Gorman Jones.
I get that a lot. Just started to like you. Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit shocked by it as well, obviously. And, you know, you're always surprised when a vampire takes you off guard, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We know how that goes.
Now, the way that it was shot, we couldn't really clearly see your face, but was the makeup any different from, you know, being a vampire at the state now?
Yeah, the lighting was super creepy and awesome there, and dark and everything else. But there was a little bit of makeup work done. A fantastic makeup, hair and makeup department. They had all these various stages planned. However, by the timeline and as it were to go, I was really just bitten kind of thing. So the makeup wasn't that severe yet. As some of the other vampires who have progressed and have been a vampire longer than my timeline. So still fun to do.
Absolutely.
It was more about the injuries that I had sustained while this blind vampire guy and I tussled, which was not seen.
Exactly.
So what kind of injuries
I have questions.
then?
You have questions?
About the injury, yeah, the
Yes.
nature. Now, because we know you got him, ultimately.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was at the same moment we got each other and it's like, oh, you're dead, so are you, and like you kind of stared into each other's eyes.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to do with a blind vampire.
That's so true. But maybe it would be more
I felt
poignant.
like I was giving and giving, but he just wasn't giving me back, It was just, there was no connection.
Just taken.
No.
He's doing a lot of taking.
Yeah, that's what vampires do.
They're a little dead behind the eyes.
Astute.
No, there was. We talked a little bit about what damage had been done, and just, Gorman always gets his guy first and foremost. But I think, there was a bit of an element of surprise, and certainly, I think the radiation kind of numbed his abilities. So I think maybe that's what happened. I think he was, essentially extremely intoxicated. When he went into battle. Mm-hmm. So, the vampire was, even though he was blind, still had kind of the advantage
the upper
over
hand.
him.
Yeah.
Now, when you first got this role, did you realize, or were you aware that your character was going to be turned into a vampire, or was this a last-minute thing you just learned?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't think I was told off the top. Of course, we got the scripts in advance, so I knew by the very next script what was happening. And I kind of knew, like, we had sort of talked it out when I was in 108, so I had known for time, so I had a chance to process it. And it's cool, man. Like, look, it's fun. Gorman was and is an amazingly fun character to play. Gorman the vampire, he can be a lot more fun.
Gormpire? Gormpire? Yeah. Hashtag Gormpire. Start it, you guys. My question...
By the time I get out of that hole, I might be a two-headed Gorman. Who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Going on there?
Very, very true.
I want to jump in. How was that fight scene, and how much of it did you do yourself?
Quite a bit. Johnny, he's an old man, hey? He looks good on screen, but no, I'm kidding. Him and I, we were doing most of the action there, although we do have a couple of stunt guys there. And they obviously took us through absolutely everything. And when it was safe for us to do the fight pieces, we would do so. But if there was any element of risk, it's just not worth it to involve the actors. Just because it can really screw up the producer's timeline and things like that if one of us gets hurt. So it's great, and they had amazing. The stunt doubles were just like dead on for us too, which was pretty cool.
That's right.
But kind of a cool story is you can't see it in the scene, but Jonathan and I got a little bit overly rambunctious. We shot at the Riverview Hospital, which is a closed hospital now in Vancouver here. It used to be a mental institute.
Ooh.
And it's spooky, all kinds of ghost stories there. And anyways, we were throwing each other into the walls, and Johnny literally threw me through a wall. One of the takes.
Nice.
So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty deadly.
Oh man, I hope that's in the special features of the DVDs or something.
Yeah, at the very least,
I want
it
to see
needs
that.
be on my demo reel.
Yes, tweet that at me whenever that comes out, because I
Alright,
definitely
nice.
want to see someone get thrown through a wall.
Had you always wanted to work in a vampire subject matter kind of show or film?
Yeah, absolutely. I got into this I'm an Alberta boy. So they needed a specific kind of redneck quality, so they went to Alberta to find me and bring me in for this show. And I think growing up, it was, the Cowboys and Indians, Westerns were a big inspiration, playing G.I. Joe, that kind of stuff. And then it gets into the, as you get older and the creativity kind of gets bigger, werewolf and vampire and things like this. And I just, all of that was, that's why I think a lot of us get into it. It's fun and you get to play, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you were talking about, they came to you. How did you yourself get involved in the show? Did you know about it? Did you go to audition for it? What was your process like?
We knew about it. You may have sort of clued into this. I think one of your episodes or two, you've kind of pointed it out. You may notice that there's a bit of a Hell on Wheels connection with a lot of the actors.
The cast, a little bit.
Yeah. So the producing team, two of the partners are Chad Oakes and Mike Frislev at Nomadic Pictures, and they were the producing partners, obviously, on both of these productions. So what worked in Hell on Wheels, they chose to keep, and so there's definitely a few of us that kind of made that transition. So including Jonathan Heyerdahl, few, and myself. I got lucky enough, and Duncan O'Lorenshaw, actually, our doctor as well.
Oh, Russ.
Neat.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Neat.
I have a man question for you.
I have. Gorman does not wear underwear.
Oh, that was exactly my question. You were a psychic,
maybe
sir.
he should.
No, I was wondering, was that your beard? Did you grow that for this project?
Right? It's gone.
I know. That's why I was like, oh my goodness, it's a whole different Gorman.
I'm having beard anxiety.
Beard
these
withdrawals?
days.
I feel ya.
This is my house. I've locked myself in, and I just won't go out until
block out the sun.
Back. Yeah.
It'll grow in faster.
That's my actual beard. If you find me, it's like playing Where's Waldo, but I am in Hell on Wheels. If you look for me there, you'll see the beard.
Sweet.
I started wearing it in, I think it was 2010 for the pilot episode of Hell on Wheels, and it kind of just stuck. I ran with it for Hell on Wheels. There was another mini-series called Klondike that I did, and then moved on to Revenant, and then finally here on Van Helsing. And then the beard disappeared.
Oh, very rad, though. How long did it take you to grow it that large? 'Cause it's pretty substantial.
Well, like I said, it's been years now that I kind of have it, but I'm very fortunate that I do. It grows back pretty quickly. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Magic
We'll
beard.
do an interview in January, and you'll see how big I'll be down out here.
Nice.
So do you keep up with the show and the episodes now that you're done filming?
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the show. I love these kind of shows, and so I'm in it right now. I mean, it was fun to be there for a little bit, but I feel like that was just like it was also like surreal and a bit of a fantasy for me, and then now it's just I'm back into being a fan type and enjoying it. So it's great.
So who's your favorite character, or what's your favorite character dynamic watching the show? Being a fan.
Couple? Yes.
Rukia is my favorite. Doc. Well, by the way, Doctor, when I said earlier, that was Duncan O'Lorenshaw plays the Doctor for the vampire guys there.
Oh, okay.
He came out of Alberta.
The evil Doctor.
Rukia's here in Vancouver, and she is awesome. She's just so much fun to watch and work with, and I'm just interested to see, I don't know, she screwed over that first soldier, and then she did it to Jonathan.
Oh, I know.
Hanging with me, and it's just like, this girl, there's so much going on that we don't know yet, right?
Yes.
So I'm very, very interested and she does a tremendous job of just giving us little bits of nuggets here and there, but then not enough, so we keep wanting more, right? So I think she's a wonderful actress here.
All right, a question we've asked some of our other guests: in the vampire apocalypse, which of the characters would you take with you if you could pick one person?
Wow.
These are the big
He's
questions,
thinking long and
you
hard
guys.
on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. The vampire. Well, I mean, obviously Vanessa.
Okay.
It's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. That's like
That is the
you
right.
should almost ask that question and exclude her. To be fair,
Yeah.
True.
do you know what I mean? Because I mean,
Well, she's not the best fighter. She's
no,
good.
But if you
human
get
again.
turned, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's your
Bring
get
her
out of
back.
jail
She's
free
bring you
card.
back.
She's like,
Yeah.
she's like the, when you're playing video games, you get the free
Free
one-ups
life.
every
Yeah, exactly.
do that level all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
agree.
that's kind of unfair. But I mean, if I were to, I think Trezo, Mohammed, his character is totally badass,
Yes.
and I think he would be a lot of fun to have on your team. And then Christopher Heyerdahl. I just want Christopher Heyerdahl in everything. So
Yeah.
those two guys, I think, they stick out as well.
Yeah, I think we all do. In the meantime, are there any like upcoming projects that we can see you in? I mean, you've been on a lot of television shows, and are there any upcoming projects for you?
Yeah. I've got a couple of projects on the go. I'm actually in Vancouver right now. I'm working on a TV show called Timeless. Doing an episode of that right now. So
We covered that here.
that'll-
I'm on that show. After show.
well, let's do another interview after this.
There we go.
Roll it in. And then just a couple other little independents that I have recently done that were kind of interesting and unique. Coming to, as I said, I moved from Alberta into Vancouver, so I'm finding that transition going kind of in an interesting way. There's just a lot more opportunities out here, and it's been fun to play on some of these smaller but more like unique productions that you're able to actually enjoy a little bit. So and one of those one of them was an independent film called Kayaking for Beginners. So that was a fun one. I think she said something about potentially getting that in for Sundance, so
Oh, rad.
Cool. Very neat.
Good luck.
it's crossed. Yeah.
So that's like the beginning of 2017 then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck with that, and congratulations on the show and your character, even though you ended up being a vampire. But congratulations to you.
Yeah, well, the fans, thank you very much, and the fans can cheer it. Just because I'm a vampire doesn't mean you have to hate me now.
It's true.
Right.
You really didn't have much say in it.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. And in the meantime, where can everyone keep following you on social media?
I'm on the social media. I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit old, so I don't know what I'm doing. But I've got a Twitter account. It's Chris Ipp. So you can follow me at Chris Ipp, IPP. I'm on the Facebook, and you can check me out there. My community is like 84 people big, so please join me. Being Italian, that's like just my family. That's like my mom's the president of my Facebook community. So please come and say hi. And of course, I'm on IMDb as well. So you can check me out, and there's more contact info for anyone that wants to find me there.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're ever in LA, we can definitely have you into the studio.
Sounds perfect.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris. Have a
Thanks,
good
guys.
night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Excellent. Well, he's cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. Great get. So, yes,
Oh,
Gorman.
Gorman Jones.
Rest in peace, Gorman.
Yes.
Gormpire. Gormpire.
Gormpire.
Oh, the Gormpire.
Okay, so of course we have to talk about Doc.
Yes.
Yes. Real quick, who thinks Axel's still alive?
I do.
I do.
Of course.
Yeah, all of us have
course
faith
he's
in him.
alive.
We're like,
Kill
yes,
He's
Axel.
basically the main character.
Yes, they
He's
can't
alive.
kill.
Well,
Axel.
somebody in the chat was pointing out that maybe it'd be good if he died because it's Van Helsing, but it's been focused on him a lot.
Maybe. I just don't think that they're going to do that.
Well,
I don't
mean,
think he's dead either.
in
Yeah.
essence, Vanessa's strong. She's a strong character to follow. But as of right now, the way that all these episodes have been written out and acted out, Axel's the strongest person there.
Yeah.
Yes, the show's called Van Helsing after Vanessa, but Axel's really the strongest
Yeah,
person.
and
Yes.
she's died at least once, you guys.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean she's very strong. Anyone can die.
I think he'll be back in a couple episodes. Do you guys think he'll be back next week?
I mean,
Or
I think he'll
another
come back
episode
at
too.
the end of next week's
End?
episode.
Okay.
He's
We'll
gonna-
go through the whole episode thinking he still died, and then like
he's-
at the end we'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, good.
He's gonna
still
bust
alive.
into the place with the bells and
Yes.
save the day.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. They can't kill Axel.
No.
The show
No.
would be over.
Yeah.
It would be over.
Yeah.
Then
Just
everyone
can't do
who
it.
was shipping Vanessa and Axel would be like, no!
I can't wait to see Doc's reaction
Oh.
when he's alive and how Axel's gonna treat her.
Yeah.
Oh, betrayal's a bitch.
Right.
That'd be one of those,
man.
oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so
See, that's
we
the
hear
thing.
the first story of Doc saying, oh, she was a coward, she closed the door, and then you think that this would be a redeeming moment where
Yeah.
she's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand
Yeah.
my ground, be strong, hold the door open, but no, she's still a coward and she still closes the damn door.
And she mentioned something after too about the the radiation, and I would so believe more of that if, like I said before, she talked about the way the radiation works. You know what I mean? But as it is, it's just no, radiation was bad, so I had to run. It's you're the only one who knows anything about this radiation. For all I know, the radiation's the boogeyman. You know what I mean? We get it, but she just anyway.
Yeah.
And also, apparently she's the one who's most affected by the radiation, so do you
Yeah,
think the
her hair was
radiation's
straight
gonna get
falling
her?
out.
Before, she's actually gonna die. It's not gonna be from vampires. It's gonna be the radiation. that
Radiation
kills her.
poisoning?
Do you think that?
After what just
Very
happened,
likely because
Yeah.
she passed out. Nobody
Yeah.
else is passed out because of the radiation.
no,
Yeah.
there's been some
She had,
vomiting,
clear
but she's
contact
the
with
worst.
it.
Yeah.
And after what she did to Axel, I'm kind of totally okay if Doc
I'm
died.
ready for her to die.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm good.
no.
Doc, there's no coming back from that.
No. You let
Like,
Axel, you
are
left
a
him to
coward.
die.
You are not a hero.
Well, even if it's your own fear for your own safety, it's he's totally awesome and can fight, that it's not like you're in immediate danger.
Right. You just
Mm-hmm.
If he had fallen on the ground and wasn't getting up, then yes,
Then-
please
then we would've
keep the
gotten
door
it.
shut. But
But you could have waited 3 more seconds.
Three
and
more
you would have
seconds.
cleared the door. It was
Yeah,
just, it was such a Titanic door moment where you're like, oh, come on.
yes,
There's room.
yep.
Yep.
It was just so frustrating
Yeah.
and annoying. You're just like,
Yeah.
and her reaction, I don't.
She just cries and runs, and you're like, ah.
It's not like the actor was overreacting, but I just felt
No.
like the reacting. Maybe I was just so mad at her for letting him get attacked that she's like, ah, and I'm like, shut up.
I know. I was
Yeah.
just like, you did that. You
Yes,
did that
it's
to you.
your fault.
You're crying because of you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was more mad at her also afterwards when she's telling Vanessa all these lies. Like,
And
no,
not-
he's dead. He's dead.
It's
I was
the
like, you don't
radiation.
even know he's
she
dead.
just she was, and I know what she was trying to do. She's trying to say, "Let's go. We gotta go." But come on, dude, you're
And
you're
Vanessa's
straight
like,
up lying.
I'll go look, and I'll go. And she's like, no,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Even if he is bitten, I'll go change him back.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on, duh.
Also, can I just say really quick? Did anyone else feel like a really weird sense in this episode specifically because she stabs a bunch of these vampires in the face? That there's this sad sense of she could be curing all of these vampires and turning them all back into humans, but she murders them all in the face.
Oh.
I think it might get exhausting. Biting
One of them,
You letting,
no.
letting yourself get bit, but
Yeah.
but she heals.
One bitter.
Yeah, I
one
noticed
bitter.
that.
And we
And
saw
then
him
that's it.
coughing up blood,
Yeah,
like
there's
Yeah.
in the
something. So
transition.
we
of
might
going
get another
back.
human.
That's true. We
There
lose
were-
Axel, we get another human.
Aw.
That,
were
you
a
see the
couple-
balance.
Yeah, there's a balance in this world.
It's terrible.
Anybody else notice
Yeah.
there were a couple shots I felt it was the same vampires resetting on their mark and running again? Because there's a couple parts where someone would run up and I'm like, that person looks just like
Just
the
like
last
the
one we
same
saw.
one. Yeah.
Same hair, same clothes. They all
these
shop in the
vampires
same
looked
place.
a lot alike. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see just a vampire Axel. Not to stay vampire Axel, but what he would be as a vampire.
Yes.
Or what if he becomes a really successful vampire? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're ever gonna get that, where one character becomes a vampire, but then becomes a really good vampire and is like, ho ho ho, Julius,
I can take you
you
straight to
stupid
Vanessa.
jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, sure.
So I'm saying
Special.
Axel's not dead.
No,
Yeah.
he can't be.
Die. But Doc is certainly gonna die soon
Mm.
after what she just did. Whether it be radiation or whether the vampires actually get to her.
Or if she
You
goes
know-
into panic mode again.
The other
True.
thing too is everybody's had some downtime that nobody's done self-defense practice or any
Yeah.
training.
Right.
I feel like she's a victim and lets herself be a victim. I'm like, I would be teach me how to shoot the gun.
Yeah.
Teach me some basic something so I'm not gonna sit here like a little defenseless rabbit and be like, oh, now I can't do anything. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Who can only close doors.
There was
yes.
4 frames of her just laying on her bag, and I was like, "What are you doing? You
I
have
thought
no
she'd be
basic
in panic mode
yeah.
right now. Yeah, I'm like, you can sleep.
Your survival
You are
instincts
freaking
are
out.
crazy.
Yes.
It's like, how can you sleep at night knowing what you just did to Axel?
That
Right.
too.
And also just,
Doc.
just vampire world? Stop laying down out in the world. Anyway.
So
Yep.
Doc's gonna die soon. So I think that takes us to predictions.
Predictions.
But I think Doc is gonna die soon.
AfterBuzz TV
There it is.
prediction.
Doc's gonna die. I said it.
I hope
said
so.
it. I hope so.
She called it here,
Now
guys.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I hope
Like,
she dies.
Now she deserves it because
Yes.
Karma's a bitch.
Yes.
Question then, is she gonna get killed? Is she gonna get vampired, eaten, or will she be like
What form
killed?
of death?
Yeah, will she be
Yeah.
killed in some like sanctimonious way where you're like, oh, she got the door closed on her. Whoa, you know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be?
Karma.
What if she is about to die from radiation poisoning and a big vampire bites her and gets the radiation poisoning themselves?
But that's also my question. Are the vampires affected by the radiation?
Yeah, and
I
are they
don't know.
affected in a positive or negative way? Because what if he bites her and we're like, oh, he got radiation poisoning, he's gonna die, and then he becomes like twice as large.
Super vampire.
And he's like, I'm blind now, but it gave me powers. Oh God.
Well, if you think
Well,
about it, the
that's
whole
what-
explosion.
I
of
thought the blind one, like his eyes had been destroyed from the radiation or something.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I assumed that because he was blind, it was because he had adapted to that like environment or something like that. Like he's like, I need no light to hunt in this environment. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Yeah.
that's why he got the jump on Gorman Jones, or at least got Gorman Jones in some way.
I don't know.
But
So Axel's alive. Doc will die. We'll learn more about the elites if they ever get their hands on Vanessa to see out their experiment. But other than that,
Mohammad
about-
is gonna meet up with the group at
Yes.
this
Yes.
place
Finally.
where the bell
the commune.
tolls. Yes.
yes, finally. You,
Is-
you were gonna
Creepy
say something?
utopia
Yeah.
fake one.
Eden, I think
what
they called
about the file, Vanessa's file? I feel there was more to that we didn't really get to.
Well, lots of it's
I
blacked
think
Talk about.
Doc's sister has more information on Vanessa.
I hope so.
I
So
think
we'll
so,
learn
too.
more about this quote unquote file, or we'll learn.
Oh,
we'll just
and
learn more
then-
from Doc's sister.
She was given up, quote unquote, and then she's like, no, my mom died in childbirth, and they're like, well, I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
So what if she was already special before she was even born? Like if it was an
Like she was
experiment back
engineered.
then.
Yeah.
And she's been part of this whole
She was
community
always the
all
chosen
along.
one. She's Mewtwo, you guys.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mewtwo.
Okay. Well, let us know your theories and predictions.
Yes.
Where can everyone keep talking
What
to you?
Pokemon is Vanessa? Is she Mewtwo? I think so.
Oh. Andrew, where
Okay.
can they follow you?
Hey, follow me on Twitter at Andrew Mena. Let me know which Pokemon you think Vanessa is.
Yeah, and if you don't really care about Pokemon, no, I'm just kidding.
You
You
don't
guys
have
can
to.
find me online at Kari Lane. That's Karidlane.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Thanks to Chris Ippolito for joining us. He plays Gorman Jones. You can follow him at Chris Ip, IPP. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.